We got to look at something. I ran across something today on Facebook that is deeply disturbing me, so I'm going to throw this video out here real quick. One of my friends posted this thing where a woman wrote in asking, is it okay for the stepfather to have a conversation with the 12-year-old stepdaughter about sex? She told him no, specifically no, and to wait until the girl's actual father and the girl's mother have that conversation with her. Instead, the stepfather jumped up and insisted on having that conversation with the little girl, stating that since he's head of the household, that she needs to know, and that that the parents were dragging their feet about the conversation. Now she's 12. I guess she hasn't had her first menstrual cycle yet. Now, I will agree with the stepfather in the fact that he's saying the parents are dragging their feet. This is a conversation that they should have started having with this little girl at the age of 5 or 6. When, most kids start asking where the babies come from, you use age appropriate words and examples to provide them with that information. One thing you do not want to do is send your child out into the world ignorant of biological facts and information about their body so that they can be victimized by sexual perverts. Now, the part where this got really interesting is the stepfather did it anyway. Now, what does that mean? Now, he did it obviously behind the mother's back because, um, she's complaining about it. Now, this is my thing. If you look at statistics for child sexual abuse, the two top abusers are the mother's boyfriends and the stepfathers. Those are the two top. Then uncles and cousins and actual fathers and grandfathers and stuff like that. And then, people that are unrelated to the child. But the vast majority, over 80% of child sexual abuse cases, the person is someone that the child is related to or that's very close to the person, like a stepfather or the boyfriend. Some person in their sphere that they consider is someone who they can trust, who's someone who's in a role where they have access to the child and are supposed to be in a role where they are protecting this child, but that's not what they do. Now, the part where it really was upsetting to me was how many women in this thread sided with the stepfather and accused the mother, and some of the dudes too, accused the mother of being divisive and trying to take away his power in the household, since he's supposed to be head of the household, they say. Head of the household is the household. That don't mean that you have any right to interject yourself on a 12-year-old girl discussing anything sexual with her outside of the range of her mother's ears. Her mother's fully capable of doing that. That is not your child. You haven't adopted the child either because the child's father's around. So you have no legal right to say anything to that child, especially after the mother has told you not to. See, to me, that would be a frying pan upside the head, if not a bullet. Because I understand what's going on here. This is called grooming. That's what that behavior is called. This is an adult male who is the child's stepfather who has entirely too much interest in what's going on with her pussy. You see what I'm saying? That's no. Now, to say that you're gonna, have this conversation with her over and above what her parents are going to do. I mean, like, just say, because one woman says, well, maybe he's aware of something, like maybe, she's showing some interest in boys and blah, 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 blah. Okay, then you say that. You say, honey, you need to have this conversation like now because I've observed blah, 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 blah. She seems to be interested in boys, we don't want her to be talked into some stuff. So we, you need, you and your husband and your ex, you need to, have a conversation like right away before it's too late. That's what you say. You don't take it upon yourself to get the little girl away from her mother's ears and start giving her your version of what sex is. Because, see, my thing is this. The next thing that's going to happen, he going to want to show her, right? He going to want to show her, and you have show and tell. He going to want to touch her body so she can see what it feels like. He's going to want to take, well, boys are going to do this to you and they're going to do that to you. And be giving her real life examples. That's how the bullshit goes down. But these dumb bitches on this thread, I'm telling you, they're like, well, he, she should be supporting it. his choices. And this one woman says, I mean, man says, well, let me say this: if you my wife and your daughter is my child, that I feed, clothe, and protect because I love her as my own. And if my money, home, and wisdom and leadership is not good enough to guide your daughter, then don't ask me to take her to appointments during her pregnancy. Don't ask me for help with diapers, milk, or for your grandkids and all this and all that. Okay, so these women are all co-signing on that dumb shit. See, the bottom line here, what he's just totally overlooking is nobody is keeping you from loving the little girl. Nobody's keeping you from providing for her. Nobody's keeping you from support, it's her growth and development, this and that. The only thing the mother asked you to do was not to interject yourself into a discussion about sex and the young girl's body with her. Let her mother do it. But no, you don't want to do that. See, this guy, he gonna put his whole ego and everything else, and they're putting the whole relationship on the line, as if that is more important than the little girl's safety and mental stability, learning about something that is probably gonna be kind of, it's gonna make her uncomfortable. It's gonna make her feel kind of like, ew, why do I have to talk about this with my mother? And but then to even make it worse is for her. Basically, she's talking to a man she's familiar with, but he's no relation to her. I mean, if the parents get a divorce next week, that man will go on off into the dusty sunset and she'll never see him again. He won't be responsible for paying child support, and he has no legal ties to her for visitation or anything else. He's just the man that the mama's fucking for right now. That's what a stepfather is, because they come and fucking go. And while he's there, he has a certain role to play. Same with a stepmother. But once, when shit goes south, you don't have any more ties to those kids. Those aren't your children. Unless you have adopted them, in which case you can only do that if the father gives up his parental rights or is deceased, or it was never named on the birth certificate in the first place. Those are your only options. Other than that, the law requires that the responsibility for a father pass from one person to another. So I was looking at this, and one of the women even called the little girl, fast tail. Well, she's gonna be, she won't be having nothing to say when that little fast tail girl turns up pregnant. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay, and she complains about the stepfather messing with her. Okay, where does the fast come in? The mother already said that the little girl hasn't even had her first menstrual cycle yet. She's like, innocent. She doesn't know anything about what these people are talking about. But this woman has labeled her fast. What kind of shit is that? See, that's the shit that gets on my nerves about black women. Y'all be coming up with that bullshit all the time. It's like you just excuse what men do to victimize the little girls. You want to try to make them responsible for some niggas' behavior, and that shit is bogus and egregious and wrong. Y'all need to check yourselves. If that's your mentality, you need to kick your own ass, because that's just stupid. This is a fucking kid, okay? She's a kid. Anything that touches her body in a sexual way is a violation. It is considered rape under the law. That is not a fast tail child. This gets on my nerves so bad. And black women are the number one kind of old raggedy ass bitches that want to sit up there and label some little girl raggedy, and a hoe and fast and all this kind of stuff. I hate that shit. So, all in all, this is a problem. Them saying, well, they should talk about it together. No, that's the mother's job. Well, they're married and he's not new booty to the wife. He's her husband. No, the motherfucker is just new booty. He don't have no ties. He has no legal obligations. He has nothing. I mean, everything he's doing because he wants to. He wants to feel like, he's part of the family and all that stuff. And that's good. But, no matter what she may have heard from friends, no matter what she may have read on the internet, just out of curiosity, the bottom line is her mother is the one who is responsible for her. The mother is the one who asked the stepfather not to say anything, because she was going to take care of it. And he is the one who went up, stepped ahead and did it anyway. This shit gives me the fucking creeps. And I don't care if they're, a blended family. This one woman says, well, if the real dad died and if this happened and if that happened, the bottom line is none of that shit has happened. So you all are on some fantasy trip talking about some imaginary shit and trying to use that as a justification for this guy, setting this little girl up. He needs to back up. He needs to apologize he needs to, sit his ass down somewhere. It's like this is really kind of scary and it's creepy behavior, and it's so fucking blatant. And this one dude was like, well, that's why single mothers are having problems with dating and stuff, because they still hoping and praying for the baby daddy to come back. Nothing about this situation says anything about this the baby daddy coming back, because she's married. She's married to the dude. Obviously, if she wanted the other dude to come back, then she would still be single and available. So his logic is stupid, and I'm just, it's really obvious to me that this guy is he's positioning things where he's going to get this little girl comfortable with him talking about intimate sexual behaviors and functions with her. It's too easy. This is like a classic grooming technique. The next step is the touching, or having her touch him, him touching her, and I imagine it would be that way because she's so innocent. He's going to be trying to show her what sex is like, and using himself as an example. If you, ladies, hear of any kind of behavior like this, if you have a man who says anything that is of a sexual nature to your children, and you did not give him tacit permission to do so, understand what the fuck is going on in your household. Stop hiding your head in the sand, and god damn it, stop blaming little girls for the shit these nasty ass pedophiles do to them. That shit, I swear, it disgusts me when I hear women say that. They just go to the lowest bottom of the slime barrel, in my opinion, because they don't have any kind of sense of interest in protecting the girl from an adult male. That's just nasty to me. It's just hateful and mean. So I just wanted to make this little notice, and you guys, if you have any questions, I'm going to put a link to some information about grooming techniques so that you understand what's going on. I put a whole chapter in my book, The Black Church, about it, because a lot of that goes on in churches, under the name of God and Jesus and praying for you and all this old shit. So I put that in there. But I'll give you a link of some, just some basic kind of some things that maybe pay attention to concerning adults that want to be around your child and talk to your child away from your ear. This is a problem, and we have such rampant amounts of child sexual abuse in the black community especially, but it's not limited to us, so don't take it that way. I'm just saying it's very covered up in the black community, and the tendency for adult women, instead of charging the men with the crime, is to blame the little girl. And I'm calling throwing the bullshit flag on that shit, and I hope you do too. This is Deborah Cooper from survivingdating.com, signing out.